Ladies and gentlemen, today is May 17th, 2012. It's my dad's birthday, and it's also Jack Attack episode number 17. Today, we're going to be doing some Quest of a Noob stuff. If you haven't checked out the show before, basically what we do is we take one noob, and once a week they come on the show and they send replays to me during the week, and we look at the replays and see how they're progressing through the macro method that is down here in the info section. If you want to be checking that out. So today we have our Terran noob, RandoOne. Rando, say what's up.
What's up?
What's up? Good. The English check is working. English language is functional for RandoOne. How can you guys hear RandoOne pretty well? Is pretty good on volumes and stuff like that. If you don't say anything, I'm going to assume that that everything's good. We're going to get right into the action, as there's nothing else to be announcing. Alright, so we got 4 replays. I don't know how many we're going to be able to get through today, but let's start with versus Burrow. That's interesting. So, Rando, this week you had some issues keeping your SQ up when you were getting harassed?
Yep, that's right.
So, we're going to take a look at what exactly is happening when harassment hits. This is War. This is RandoOne. He's doing his thing. Nice. Building the wall in. All that jazz. Let's get to that point where the harassment hits. I'm going to see. I'm going to do a little trick I learned from day 9. Whoa! What was that? Uh-oh. Alright. Let's see how much money you have. Gotta make sure you're constantly building SCVs. That's the most important thing. If you're not constantly building SCVs, everything else gets fucked up. Like, everything else gets thrown off. Because you have extra money when you think you shouldn't have it. Alright, let's see. 23. 35. So that's 12 seconds. 12 seconds without building an SCV. So that's an SCV takes 17 seconds to build, so that's almost an entire SCV you're putting yourself behind for no reason. But, you know, you're a boss, so you are ahead anyway. What league are you playing games in right now? Who are you playing against?
Silver League?
You're playing against Silver League players?
I think he's Silver too, yeah.
Okay, cool. And what level is this?
I'm on level 4.
Okay, level 4 involves what, for those who don't know what level 4 is?
You have orbital commands, expansions, marine marauder, and refinery.
Nice, cool. So, how's your gas management doing? How's that been going on?
It's been okay. One guy in gas geyser is really good. It times perfectly with one marauder.
That's awesome. So if you want to mix in some more marauders, you can just put another guy on gas.
Yep.
Just like that. Now you got 2, because you're making 2 marauders at a time. And you're mixing in marines too with that 3rd rack? Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah.
Nice.
I usually go heavy on the marines.
Yeah, marines are fucking awesome. Making marines is good. Cool, couple of marines. So what happened in this game? We had some burrow harass, you labeled it? What
So it wasn't really harass, it was just the need some micro when he was burrowing. So it was kind of hard. Yeah.
Okay. Does he have burrow yet? No, not yet. Alright, so you're going to do your general attack move. You're not going to care that there's, you know, Zerglings at the watchtower that are watching you. They're going to come around and surround you from both sides like a good Zergy will do. You're going to get some kills, but ultimately you lost more resources because you got surrounded. That's what Zergs do best. Cool. So you want to know You obviously don't want to micro and stuff like that because that's against the rules. But you do want to know if your attacks are generally successful or not. So you've got to make sure that in your loop you have workers, units, resources, and then minimap. That last step is really important because your minimap is going to tell you if your attacks are successful. If the more successful your attacks are, the smaller groups you can send out to attack move, and you're going to be okay because they're like small reinforcements. However, if your attacks aren't going well, that's when you want to build up your force a little bit before you start sending out your guys. Looks like we got some banelings coming in. You got your money up at 500. That is hurting the team. Looks like building attack was not enabled there. Alright, good. Pull up the command center, no problem. Alright. Now, heavy on the Marines is nice. Make sure you're building SCVs, right? You can drop, even though you don't think you can take this back right now, because you're afraid of the Zerglings, and you want to build up your force first, land that orbital command, and drop mules, and build SCVs, and send them into that mineral line. So that way when you do think it's safe to move out, you'll have extra, oh, burrowed banelings. What a jerk. What does this guy think? He's in the GSL or something? Doing burrowed baneling shenanigans? Oh my god. I watched Yu-Gi-Oh! Versus MKP today on the GSL. Holy crap, those were exciting games. If you guys have never watched StarCraft before, I think that you can watch the first game for free, and you have to pay for the other two. But at least watch the first game. Ridiculously awesome stuff. Yu-Gi-Oh! Is like really showing how to use that new queen range to your fullest advantage. Really interesting. But cool. Yeah, so he's doing the burrowed baneling shenanigans. But you shouldn't have a problem spending your money because of that, right?
Yeah, it's kind of tough when you have to resort back to one base when you were on two bases. It feels like the economy is kind of strange.
Oh, it is strange because you're on less bases and you have more unit producing structures than you can manage. Which also should mean that your money should be fucking super low, but it's not. So you're really gonna have to. I like that you're not queuing as much, and that's definitely good. But don't go beyond your means. I like that you're challenging yourself, but if you're gonna go with only queuing one unit, go for it all the way and only ever queue one unit, and let that be one of the things that you're gonna do, because you just want to make it stricter, because that's how you roll. Like I do 15 times in a row instead of 3 times in a row, because I like the challenge and I want to be super fucking consistent. So you can feel free to do that, but if you're not doing that,
well, I have 4 tech labs, so isn't that 400 minerals that I have to save up? It's kind of like how Protoss has Warpgate, so they're gonna build up a bunch of money and then spend it all at once. I have that kind of mentality when we do this.
Right. Like I know what you mean, but like watch this right here. You have one barracks not doing anything, and now they're all doing something, right? But there were a couple of moments back there where, look, that barracks not doing anything. There'll just be like sort of like little blackouts here and there, and you have money, so you should spend it. You should never even, the word save money should not even be in your vocabulary, ever. You don't. If someone says, "Oh man, you should save your money and do a big push," you should just be like, "Save my money? I don't even know what that means. What are you talking about?" Like that should be your response. For now, obviously, like once you get your macro worked out and you start getting into strategy, that's when you start thinking, "Okay, I'm going to save this money because it's going to time perfectly with this thing and whatever." But right now, it's literally just practicing your macro. So spend your money, make your money spent, even if it doesn't make too much sense. You have 6 guys in gas, and you have 5 tech labs, right? That's why your gas is getting high, right?
Yeah.
So just if you have tech labs, right? Just put 5 guys in gas. You don't always have to go right up to 6, right? Put 5 guys in gas. Like, for now, since you're only doing Marine Marauder, just say, okay, I'm going to put the same number of guys in gas as the number of tech labs that I have. And that's it. You know?
Yeah, it's kind of a habit when you're usually saturating them fully.
Right. But it's actually even good in strategy to not get more gas than you need. Nice, and you saw your gas was getting high, and you took guys off gas. Super smart. Very, very good. And War left the game. Cool. Nice. So yeah, watch that gas. And as far as Burrow is concerned, like, yeah, he's gonna do better than you, but that's his advantage. You're giving him that advantage on purpose. You're saying, okay, I'm giving you the micro advantage. I'm giving you the strategy advantage. But my macro is going to be so strong that I'm going to crush you, so it doesn't matter. Do you know what your SQ was for that game? About?
Oh, it was really low.
It was really low? Yeah. Definitely, definitely just spend the money. We got Brosef down here. We got some Zerg issues. We got Muta issues. We got Burrow issues. Fucking Zergs. Do you have any Queen range issues? Like, man, I could have won that, but Queens have range. Not yet? Yeah. It'll happen.
They're usually... Yeah, if you have a large enough bio, well, it usually just smashes through the queens.
Yeah. I saw Queens transfusing Ultralifts today, and I was like, in a pro match, and I was just like, oh, that's so nice. Makes me want to go play a match of Zerg. Oh, man. But cool, so we had some Muta harass issues here.
Yeah, I don't know how to respond to it when I have only Marine Marauder.
Right. That's the other thing, too. Actually, we'll just let this go faster. Your response should pretty much always be base trade counterattack. Is that a correct strategical decision? Not all the time, but you're going to make it anyway because you're giving him the strategy advantage. You have the macro advantage. So the correct decision is always to have more stuff than him and just kill him. So if you're like getting harassed by Mutalisks, then consider that normally you just build turrets and you'd continue to macro up and play a normal game. But keep in mind that your goal here is not to win. Your goal is to just practice your macro. And the more you focus practicing your macro, the faster you're going to get through the macro system, and you're going to get into learning about strategy and how to apply all that stuff. The reason why you do macro first is so that you can do the strategy stuff very quickly. You won't have a problem with what do you call it? You won't have a problem with learning strategies because it'll be almost intuitive for you to do a strategy. You'll be like, oh yeah, sure, that makes complete sense to me, because that just makes, that means I'm spending my money, and that's why I'm doing it. They're very, very much interconnected. So as far as response, I don't even want you to be thinking about that, and that's kind of hard. That's like not looking at battles, right? It's counterintuitive. But don't even think about a response. Think about, he's attacking me. I can't kill him or defend the attack, so I'm going to... I can't defend the attack, rather, so I'm going to go kill him. And just send your stuff across the map and try to wipe out his base before he wipes out your base. But with Mutalisks, you've got Marines. Marines can kill Mutalisks. I'm going to get to the Mutalisk part of the game and see where we can look at some specific engagements and see what you could have done differently. Yeah, I think 3 tech labs right away might be a bit much.
No,
I don't know if I just don't know if you can support that.
No, you can't. I learned it the hard way.
Yeah, and that's actually that's the natural way that things sort of develop, where it's just like, oh, I can't get this many because I can't support them off one base. Instead of like, oh, here's Simulus. Instead of just saying, oh, well, this is my build order, so I'm going to build this many because this is what you do. Instead of just knowing what to do, Doing it this way, you now know why you do it, which is a much better way to play the game because you have an understanding of the game, and you'll be able to apply that to other things as you get into the more complex elements of the game. Now this is just like unfortunate as hell, right? You have your whole army across the map. You even sent some... Wait, was that reactionary? Did you just counterattack when you saw the mutas?
Yeah, I had Marauders, so no use sitting at home, right?
Oh,
so,
no. Alright, so you didn't see the mutas yet. You just started marching across the map, which is good. Getting aggressive is good. But shitty timing, right? You have Marines out in the field, and all of a sudden, this shit comes in. So you're like, fuck it. I'm sending them to go attack. I'm sending this Marauder to go attack, which is exactly what you want to be thinking. And you're spending your money still. Your gas is kind of high. Right? Same thing. We got 5 tech labs, but we got 6 guys in gas. That's why that gas is going to get high. Right? We already figured out that it's a battle 1-to-1 ratio. And normally it's cool because if you have 6 guys in gas, then you have a little bit more extra gas. And you can use that extra guy getting gas to like sneak in an upgrade. Or, you know, something like that. Or like start to tech up. That's why a lot of times you just see players go straight for 6 because they use that extra gas that they're not using to make units to tech up and to, you know, get upgrades and get better units and all that stuff. Nice, man. Fucking awesome. Sending the SCVs back. Good move. I can't believe they survived that, but whatever. Congratulations. Probably not a good idea to get another command center when you don't have your second base. Or did you start that before the mutas came in?
I don't remember. I think I saw the mutas, then I made it. But
Okay.
I felt like I did enough damage to his base.
Oh, right, so that you'd be safe. That's a good point. We're gonna watch. This is funny because not funny, but interesting because it's you have the same sort of situation that happened last game, right? You got attacked at your natural, so you retreated and you didn't move back as soon as you could, right?
Yeah.
That's a fear thing. Zerg is actually the best, in my opinion, at creating fear. Nidus worms, burrowed units, all that kind of shit. Absolute fear. Right? Mutalisks come out of nowhere, Zerglings come out of nowhere, they're super fast, it's ridiculous. Right? So we're going to watch you lose this base, and we're going to see when you could have moved back. You're not building SCVs, by the way, which is bad. Alright, pause. So right now you forced the Mutalist to come back because you're about to destroy his entire fucking base, right? Awesome. He's going to be very fragile after this attack, right? Just like you already said, which is why you built that command center, right? You're like, oh yeah, so he's got to send his mutas back. He only has a few mutas. It's not like he has a death squad of mutas. He's just got like a, you know, medium harm squad of mutas. So at this point in time, you say, oh wait, even before that, no, you made that command center before, I think.
No, my bad.
Well, no, that's actually good because like you're like, oh yeah, I'm gonna expand. Oh shit, mutas, right? You don't even need to lift off. Like you don't even need to lift off right here. Your counterattack worked. He's gonna be stuck in his base. If he moves out with his mutas, you're just gonna walk across the map and kill him because he's so crippled. So you don't even need to lift off and run away. You can send your guys back and drop some mules and all that jazz, and you'll be fine. Yeah, so right when you moved away and retreated is the exact moment where you were safe and you could move back. See, because look, same thing again, right?
Yeah, see.
Right? He's like, he tries to hit you and all of a sudden you're back in his face. He's got a half health lair, less than probably like a quarter, right about a quarter health spawning pool, and a practically dead queen. It's like, he can't go anywhere. If he tries to go anywhere, you just kill him. If he doesn't know that he can't go anywhere, he's going to find out because he's going to get killed. He also can't triple expand. He's going to try to, but it's not going to work. He needs to make units right now, and that's a bad decision making on his part, which is why you can get away with only working on macro. So yeah, I would say when something like this happens again, especially this week when you're working on stuff, really push that fear thing away. challenge the fear thing. When you get afraid and you're like, I don't know if I can expand right now, just fucking expand. Give it a shot. See what happens. And definitely the best thing to do is look at the replay and be like, okay, when was it safe to move back? Like, when was it reasonable for me to know that it was safe to move back? Or when was it safe to move back? And how long did it take me to actually move back? Because a lot of times you're going to overestimate your opponent. You're going to think he's more strong than he actually is, or she. So, I mean, just, yeah, so just keep working on that. And you got a pretty low SQ on this one as well?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of these are low, and I'm getting harassed. There's just so much to focus on.
Yeah. I like the rally point change. It's a really smart idea. That'll help you,
Yeah, this is where I switched my unit composition to mostly Marines. Should I be doing that?
Yeah, that's fine. That's good.
Even though my gas is high. That's why I pulled all of them off geysers, because I was making nothing but Marines.
Yeah. What I would do is I would have pulled them off geysers, spent the rest of my gas, and then started pumping Marines. Obviously, you're pumping Marines out of the ones that don't have tech labs. But the thing that's really killing your SQ is not the Mutalisks. It's your gas. It's the fact that you have 174 resources just sitting there. So imagine, having the.
Go ahead, sorry.
Imagine having the same score as you did, but having 174 less average unspent resources, and the number that you're going to get is going to be drastically different.
Yeah, but it felt like a moment where I had to pump Marines to live, not focus on my SQ.
Yeah.
If I made Marauders, I felt like if the Mutas came back, I would have nothing to defend, so I immediately pumped the Marines.
Right. Where's the Spire? Oh, you killed it. Nice. Cool, man.
I didn't even notice. I didn't watch the battles.
Good. That's real good. That's hard, man. That's. I don't know if you watched the I'm a Noob series, but that's my biggest issue. I see a battle, I'm like, ooh, what's going on? What can I micro? I'm just like, no, Jack, no. Look away. Look away from the battle. Oh yeah, and especially now, look, you're long distance mining. Like, you should have a command center here, right? Like, right? You know what I mean? Like, that's letting that fear get to you, and that's fine because that's a natural part of StarCraft. Actually, that's to me, it's part of some of the exciting part of StarCraft because you're like afraid, you don't know if you're gonna make it, and they're like, oh, I don't know, I'm gonna try the thing, and you take risks, and sometimes they pay off, etc., etc. But yeah, look, he's down to 3 Mutalisks. He's rebuilding a Spire. You just keep pummeling him to death. Marines are fucking good. Alright. Banelings. you just stop. You just keep pummeling him to death, and then eventually you win. Right? There we go. Pummel, 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 pummel. Oh, I defended the attack. Oh my god, there's more stuff. Pummel, 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 pummel. How does he keep making so much stuff? Pummel, 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 pummel. Fuck. GG. Brosef, if you're listening to the show... Oh, fuck, I didn't mean to do that. Brosef, if you're listening to the show, the reason why you lost that game is because of your gas management, too. It's actually becoming a lot more prevalent thing than I thought. Look at this. It's 527 gas, just chilling. Chilling. You want to keep that shit low. You're going to get into special strategies where you save up gas and stuff like that, but in the beginning, fuck that shit. Just keep your gas low. Alright, 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 alright. And let's see what time we got. Yeah. What's up?
Weird. Zerg Hunter said he's the god of level 1 Zerg, and I was like, cool, but I don't believe in gods.
Oh man. Zergs have that problem. Alright, alright. Chas against RandoOne. What was this? Drops. This guy was dropping you. Silver League. People are dropping, doing harass, all this fancy stuff, but they can't build workers. Seems out of place. Seems out of order. Right, barracks. Keeping the money kind of low. The gas comes in. Let's watch your gas a little bit more closely this game because that is really 2 guys in gas right away. Pretty much just enough for the tech lab if you didn't build that marine, but you're gonna go 2 marines, which is fine, whatever you want to do. But that gas is getting up there. Actually, that money's getting up there. Damn. What's going on? Are you expanding? 400.
Oh. No, I think this is like one of my first games when I tried level 4. I didn't know how much
Okay. Okay, yep. Yeah, so you want to, you know, just keep that in your loop, make it your natural loop, make it your adjust, and whenever you see more than 150 minerals, just plop down another barracks, even if it doesn't make sense. Oh, and especially, oh yeah, the reason why your SQ is bad here was totally gas management. Look at this. Your gas is getting up there like you're about to build a factory before your tech lab, but you're not going to because you're not allowed to. Also, make it a habit, almost like a rule. Your first attacking unit, just send it to your enemy's base. Because that's going to put the fear in him. He's going to be like, oh, you're under attack. And he's like, oh, it's just one marine. It's just one marine. And they're like, oh, man. But even that little tiny thing, even that little like, ooh, like, I'm under attack. Uh-oh. It puts him in a little bit of a defensive structure, position rather. And it affects the opponent, your opponent, mentally. In the very, very slightest subconscious way. That's very good for you. Luckily, he's already building a bunker when he doesn't need to, so that's great for you. Extra 100 minerals, you get to be ahead. And when he salvages it, you'll only be ahead 25. But whatever, okay? We'll take our advantages where we can get them. Like 250 gas in the bank. We'll take that advantage. Nice. We will absolutely take that advantage. Also, but I mean, what I meant to say earlier, but I lost my train of thought is, you see players like Sase and Naniwa only putting 2 guys in each gas, or putting 2 guys in 1 gas and then adding more later. Like, as StarCraft builds become more refined, you're going to see that a lot. You're going to see in gas, out of gas, some in gas, not all in gas. You definitely want to retrain your brain to think, how many guys do I have in gas, not how many gases do I have. It's like, oh yeah, I have 1 gas, which means automatically means 3 workers. You want to think, I have 6 workers in gas. Or I have 12 workers in gas. And that means I can make 12 Marauders at a time. But I want Marines too, so I'm going to have half of that amount of gas, or double that amount of barracks, you know? Depending. Yeah, but like right now, like look at this for a second. Alright. Because you're macroing, you're at 45, he's at 36, right? He's got 6 Marines, a bunker with 4 Marines, and then a wall, right? You go out there with your Marauders, you're going to be able to hit all of this stuff right here, the whole wall, without getting hit at all with the Marauders. The Marines are obviously going to get hit by the bunker, but not by other Marines, as long as they're attacking the wall. That's the tricky part about walls and walls against Terrans, because Terrans have all ranged units. And walls aren't particularly good at ranged units because you have all your guys behind. I mean, the enemy has all of his guys behind the wall, and they have the same range as you, but you're attacking the buildings in the front, so you're like getting free shots at it. They have to freak out to grab guys off of the what do you call it? Grab guys off of the mineral line and repair. Lose money repairing. That's another thing that people don't take into consideration. Repairing costs money, and repairing like planetary fortresses costs minerals and gas. So never think of yourself as like, oh, I can't kill that planetary fortress, he's just gonna repair it. It's like, yeah, you're sinking his minerals and his gas like crazy. You know, he's spending money on something to keep it alive, and of course it's much better than having to rebuild it, but that is still a little bit of damage that you're doing right now. Let's see if we have that same expansion problem. The gas management is actually a lot better right now. Big SCV issues still. Really, really, really focus on your SCVs. Alright? Don't focus on your decision making. Don't focus, oh, well, you know, he's got mutas, so I should counter by building more Marines. That's super smart. But you don't need to do that. Because... Oh, also, if you send out your first attacking unit, you'll know where he is.
Alright.
You don't need to do that, because you're just going to pummel him to death. If you run into anything that you can't kill with the units that you have, you're just going to go kill him, because your macro is better than his. And if it's not, then you're going to make it better than his by practicing your macro. Right? RandoOne as usual, though, expanding like a boss. Very good. Sending in the SCVs to attack, not the wisest decision, but I guess the game's over. That's the other thing, too, right? It's not over till it's over. Don't send in your SCVs if you don't have to.
Oh no,
Yep.
it's from the drop. I'm running from the drop. It's a base kit.
Also, when you're casting games and analyzing a replay, you're going to want to know what the fuck is going on. Like, so if a drop is going on and you have a show and you're trying to help someone out, you should be able to realize what the fuck is going on. I'll try to do that in the future to make things a little bit more better. But yeah, running from the mo better, way more better, yo. Make my shits way more better, like 10 times more better, 8 times more better than yo shit. But for real, guys. But for real, you want to be more better. At least 10%. Where? There's no waterfalls. Oh, it's so nice. And there's death and carnage going on all over the place. Interesting, he flew right over unit producing structures, which just happened to be supply blocked. And this is why you're going to win. You're going to win because you have 70 and he has 34. You are always going to win in base races. First of all, because you're a Terran, you can fly away. But second of all, because you're always going to have the bigger army. As long as you don't make any silly mistakes, you're going to be fine. You're going to be fine. And
also, the SQ when you have to run away like that.
What was that?
The SQ gets hurt when you have to run in base trade. So.
Oh, totally. But what you should have done to get that, what you could have done, right, to get that SQ a little bit better is, as soon as you know it's a base trade and you've decided, okay, I have the bigger army, I'm taking his base, start building supply depots. That's the first thing. You're at 62 out of 22, right? You can build 10 supply depots. 10 might be a little bit overkill, but I mean, at this point in the game, just spend your money, have those 10 supply depots, or make less supply depots, but start cranking out of your barracks or whatever. But yeah. Alright, so we're having a debate about how my name is pronounced.
No, Zerg's joking that that's his name.
Oh, that's his name? Your name is Jacques too?
No, it's the Logan.
Oh, it's Logan. Logan. Monsieur Logan. En français, s'il vous plaît. Hmm?
He was pretending that his name is Jacques.
Jacques. Well, that is my name. It's just Americanized, so you call it Jack.
His cousin has disputed that it's Jacques and said that it's really Logan.
Ah, interesting. Interesting. Mon français est très mal. Oh, très mal. C'est Jacques en français, oui. I don't know a lot of French, but I'm French, so I got that French pronunciation thing in my genes.
Conquer fan's name is
Josh?
Josh.
Josh. Le Josh. Josh. Sky. 2 Y's. SKY.
Oh, I think that Zerg Hunter knows French.
Zerg Hunter knows French. Bonjour, ça va? Yeah, ça va? Ça va? Have you guys seen the French song, Fou du Fafa by Flight of the Conchords? You guys should check that out. Flight of the Conchords, Fou du Fafa. Check that shite out. It's fucking hilarious. All TV today. Aw, TVT. I like TVT though. TVT is my favorite mirror matchup. How do you feel about mirror matchups, RandoOne?
I personally don't like TVT when I'm doing this kind of macroing, because usually I just get steamrolled by tanks.
Ah. Yeah, I can see that happening. I think if you get more aggressive, you're not going to run into that problem as much.
Yeah, that's why I'm timing my attack around 7 minutes. 6 to 7, that's when tank production starts. Well, when I do it.
Damn.
So I hope to catch him in the act.
You are fancy. As long as you're not doing any of that fancy shit in game, you can do whatever the fuck fancy shit you want outside of game. You are a smart man, RandoOne. Cool, but yeah, first unit for sure. Poke his front. Like, especially at these lower levels, people are psychologically more fragile at these lower levels than the higher levels. So you'll be able to fuck with them a little bit more. And you'll be able to mess up their shit a lot easier because it requires a lot of focus for them to play. Hidden base! Alright. You gotta play against a hidden base.
Oh, I didn't even notice that.
Akuya's favorite mirror matchup is ZVC because it's either short and all the bullshit is garbly, or it's long and fucking weird.
Zakuya, I think that's a that's great. I think that's a great analysis of ZVZ. Alright, so if you're gonna have one base, you need to attack. You need to be aggressive. If you're gonna go for the faster two bases, you don't have to attack as soon, but I want you to. But if you're on one base, you absolutely have to, because right now,
I usually just wait for free marauders.
right, I would go sooner. Because look at the situation you got here, right? He's got a bunker with 3 Marines in it. 4 Marines in it. That's it. He's got 23 supply, and you have 40. Okay, let's go to the unit counting station. You've got 8 Marines and 3 Marauders. Right? We can even go back a little bit.
Sir Hunter has a question. Comment vous?
Menu, monsieur. I don't even know if that's how you pronounce menu, or you say minute. Un minute, 2 minutes, 3 minutes. Okay. So, you've got 2 Marauders and 3 Marines. And he's got 4 Marines. So yeah, that would have been a bad time to attack. Because your production is just getting up. But, if you attack very soon, it's going to work out very well. Yeah. You have the SCV advantage, you have the army advantage, you have the supply block. Oh no, nice. It might have been just a very short supply block. No big deal. Do you roll him with this attack? I imagine you roll him with this attack.
I kind of get lost because he has a wall up and I didn't account for that. So my army goes off.
Oh, you didn't account for the wall that was there? I hate that pathing, man. It should just...
Yeah.
It shouldn't base pathing off of things that you can't see. It should only base the pathing off of things that you can see. I don't know how hard that is to do from a programming perspective, but from a gameplay perspective, I think that's definitely the best way to do it. We got a little bit lost, but you killed the supply depot, killed the bunker, killed units in the bunker, killed another supply depot. Yeah, this is a fantastic engagement for you. Pushing, doing the stuff. Marines and Marauders have so much synergy. They're so fucking good. Man. Wow, this is over short, isn't it? Wow. Nice. Nice. And
I
you
didn't
own
know
that.
he was going for an expansion. I think that's the reason why. He put all his
Oh, yeah.
advantages.
Yeah. Well, that's what happens, right? You got the ETA, right? Economy, technology, army. He went super far into economy, and you didn't get any technology or any economy before you attacked. You just went straight army into attack, and that's... Your army is just way too strong for him to survive that. Which is fucking good. Which is why, ladies and gentlemen, if you're going to take a sneaky expansion... Whoops. If you're going to take a sneaky expansion, don't take your natural also, right? You always want to make one step... one step in the correct direction and not 2 steps. 1 step into an advantage instead of 2 steps, right? So if you try to double expand, you're very vulnerable. But if you try to expand, you can probably get away with that, right? If you try to go right up to hive tech, you're probably going to get killed. But if you go to layer tech relatively quickly, you might be okay, right? It's a little bit less dangerous. So always try to take 1 step instead of 2. Zerkenner had a question?
COMMENT, comma ALLEZVOUZ.
Comment allez-vous? Oui. That's how are you, basically. En français, oui. Comment allez-vous? Oui. Monsieur? Pour moi? Ça va. Ça va. Ça va is just, I'm doing alright. I'm doing pretty good. Koyongiga is cat in Korean. I love kitties. Kitties are great. Sweet, man. So
The Jack Attack is enjoyable.
it's incroyable. Is that a incredible attempt en français, monsieur?
Conrad would like to know if you go to MLG Games, i.e. MLG Anaheim.
I went to MLG Providence when I lived in Rhode Island. Anaheim's too far away, and I have to do the show. So wait, we can do this. Anaheim's too far away, and I have to do the show every night. Well, I don't have to. I choose to do the show every night. And for me, because I fucking love this shit. But I have the show every night. So if I were to go to Anaheim, it would be like I would go there for the early part, and then I'd have to leave early. I would definitely miss the finals because the finals are probably going to be on right about when I need to be home for the show. Or I'd have to like do the show and then drive back to Anaheim. And I'm in NorCal, and for you guys who don't know how big California is, that's like saying, oh yeah, I'm in West Virginia. Why don't you just come down to Florida? It's the same state. It's pretty much that same thing. It's like California's fucking huge. You guys might think, oh yeah, you're a stupid Rhode Islander, you don't know that, but really I'm a Rhode Islander, so California to me is huge. Like Texas is huge. Like the first time I went on tour with a band called Prayers for Atheists, and I had never been outside this Rhode Island box before. Rhode Island, if you guys don't know, is a state. It's the smallest state with the longest name, and it is full of small things. You can drive across Rhode Island in half an hour. Like, you can go up and down in an hour and a half. It's a tiny, tiny little thing. In any case, I got the opportunity to go on a nationwide tour. I went across the whole nation. We got to Texas, and all of a sudden I realized that certain roads had 4 digits. Like, there are 4 digits in a route name. Like, oh yeah, where are you? Oh, I'm on Route 1227. Like, where the fuck are we? This place is gigantic. Like, I didn't even know what to do. And it was so ridiculously hot. It doesn't get that hot. It doesn't get that hot in Rhode Island. Any other questions? What level are you? I'm in French 2. I did.
Conversation
Oh. Jacques Attaque. Jacques Attaque, oui.
Look at this kitty.
Comment s'appelles-tu? Je m'appelle Jacques. Et vous? French 1. Oh. Whenever there's a cute kitty, we should end the show by showing you guys how cute these kitties are. And that's what we're gonna do today.
Oh, he moved.
Look at him. Oh, look at how cute he is. Oh. This has been the Jack Attack. We'll see you guys
Sir Hunter would like to
tomorrow.
remind you that you have 15 minutes.